Hi everyone, welcome and thank you all for joining today's webinar on Shaping Mathematical Outlook in Kids. My name is Travali and I'm a part of team here at Turito. I'm joined here by today's speaker, Mr. Vasu, Head of International One-on-One Tutoring Services at Turito, and Ms. Priyanka from Student Counselor Department. This webinar is an outreach program by Turito for students to help in developing their learning skills and for parents who are willing to give their children best education. Before we start off, let me offer a quick overview of organization. And all you are aware, Turito is an e-learning platform and our vision is to provide quality education to every student by well-experienced faculty. Currently, Turito is available in USA, Canada, UK, Middle East, India, Singapore and Australia regions. And programs offered by Turito are NAPLAN OC and one-on-one tutoring services for maths, science and English subjects in Australia region. And here we go with Turito exclusives. Turito offers interactive learning methods as per student requirements, regular assessments to track the child progress, and doubt clarification sessions for making their concepts stronger. Turito also provides parent app access to make you a part of child's learning journey. Moreover, we have top 2% certified educators whom we partner with to envision our mission. Before getting into the specific, let me offer a quick intro about our today's speaker, Mr. Vasu is an international one-on-one tutoring head at Turito and he is a holder of Master of Mathematics and Bachelor of Education with a vast experience of 30 years in education industry. He is an IIT Foundation course content preparation expert and mentored 80,000 plus IIT JEE qualifiers and 4,000 plus SAT and ACT scorers. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
A warm welcome to everyone. To begin with, it is the introduction to maths. Mathematics is a powerful tool that helps to understand the world, encourages logical reasoning, critical and creative thinking, and problem-solving ability. Mathematics, the science of structure, order, and relation that has evolved from elemental practices of counting, measuring, and describing the shapes of objects. It deals with logical reasoning and quantitative calculation, and its development has involved an increasing degree of idealization and abstraction of its subject matter. Since the 17th century, mathematics has been indispensable adjunct to the physical sciences and technology, and in more recent times, it has assumed a similar role in the quantitative aspects of the life sciences. In many cultures, under the stimulus of the needs of practical pursuits, such as commerce and agriculture, mathematics has developed far beyond basic counting. This growth has been greatest in societies complex and the opportunity to build on the achievement of earlier mathematicians. Moving forward, now the origin of maths. Mathematics originated from the Greek word meaning tendencies to learn. Multiple branches, numbers, geometric forms, algebra, and others. Mathematics is a historical subject. It has been explored by various mathematicians across the world since centuries in different civilizations. Archimedes from the BC century is known to be the father of mathematics. He introduced formulas to calculate surface area and volume of solids, whereas Aryabhat, born in 476 CE, is known as the father of Indian mathematician. In the 6th century BC, the study of mathematics began with the Pythagorean as a demonstrative discipline. The word mathematics originated from the Greek word mathemia, which means subject of instruction. Another mathematician named Euclid introduced the axioms, postulates, theorems, proofs, which are also used in today's mathematics. History of mathematics has been an ancient study and is described by each part of the world in a varying method. There were many mathematicians who have given different theories of many concepts which we are applying in modern mathematics. Now, moving forward, maths in daily life. Now, the study of measurements, numbers, and space. Maths plays a vital role in all aspects of daily life, like time tracking, driving, cooking, or jobs like accounting, finance, banking, engineering, and software. Almost every student studies math during school. However, the majority of the teenagers question the importance of maths. Still, it is one of the most crucial subjects to everyone. Most students are unaware that math is not just a part of many other disciplines, it is part of everyday life. Mathematics is needed almost everywhere, be it engineering, science, or other technological disciplines. Indeed, science as well as technology would not exist without math. In order to analyze data, recognize certain patterns, and prove facts of one needs to apply math. Only then we can understand complex information. Almost every career involves maths. Scientists need it, psychologists, and even cashiers. This is the reason why every student has to learn math in school or in college. However, many students do not take the subject as seriously as they should. Many of them say they do not want to get a job that involves math. However, we do not only need math in certain careers and in science. Actually, it is a part of everyday life. Whether we go shopping, play video games, or cook dinner, math is always present. Indeed, life as we know it would not be possible without math. Therefore, every student should pay attention when studying math at school. Moving ahead, now understanding the basic concepts in lower grades. Now, math skills and concepts build on each other from grade to grade, in which children need to focus on the foundation so that they can handle the more complex challenges as they progress in school. Now, the first one they must understand is numbers and counting. See, they begin their from the lower grade, numbers and counting. Learning different numbers and counting will form a significant part of your child's mathematics lessons. Count and write numbers from 1 to 100. Count in ones, twos, fives, and tens. Count backward. Count onward from any number. Count backward from any number. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and then understanding the 2D shapes. So what are all the 2D shapes? How to understand them? For example, what are the sides? What are the faces? And what are the 2D shapes which are available, like square, rectangle, trapezium, parallelogram? So all these things you can understand. What are the sides? What are the faces? All these things. And then sorting and patterns. So the various patterns, it can be a number pattern, it can be any other pattern. So sorting and patterns. Now then fractions. Then you have number places. And then time. For example, tell the time to the nearest star, half hour and quarter hour, sometimes even in 5 minutes. Uh, Make the connection between time and events shorter, longer, after, before, measurements, and comparisons. So, in all these things, right from the basic concepts in lower grades, one has to understand. Moving ahead, how to develop skill in fast calculations. These are very much needed. For example, either you go for NAPLAN or SAT, you need fast calculations. Now, fast calculations also includes mental calculations, now doing in the head. Mathematical calculations come up frequently in day-to-day life, and there is a lot of benefit to being able to tackle a problem without resorting to a calculation. Whether you are short of time in an examination or just calculating, working on your calculation skills is a beneficial way to understand your memory and keep your mind sharp. Do speed addition and subtraction tests. So a lot of addition and subtraction speed drills must be done. Memorize multiplication tables, maybe up till 30, that would be beneficial. Recall your multiplication tables for division. Simplify calculations into smaller, easier calculations. Do a few calculations at least once a day. Vocalize your mental process to yourself. Saying the numbers and process out loud will make you hear the calculation as you work it out. This adds a new layer of learning and memorizing on top of what's already there. Try to do as much in your head as possible. Moving ahead, now understanding the correlation in some concepts. Now, this is very important for a student who has a journey from the lower grade to the higher grade. The best way of learning maths is to correlate the concepts. In the journey of mathematics from lower to higher grades, many concepts can be correlated. Correlation exists as a fast thinking process to get the answer easily and with less time. Now, for example, the first one I will show is percentage, fraction, and decimal. Now, for example, if you have 25%, this is 1/4 as a fraction, 0.25 as a decimal, 33 1 over 3 will be taken as 1/3 as a fraction, 0.33 recurring as a decimal. Now, 2/3, for example, if you have a fraction as 66 2/3, it is a 2/3, and this is 0.66 recurring. So one has to correlate the subject to percentage, fraction, and decimal. Then second one will be, as you move into higher grades, when the functions are introduced and calculus is learned, the first derivative of a function, f dash x or f prime x. Now this function greater than 0, now this will be nothing but an strictly increasing function, and f dash x less than 0 will be a strictly decreasing function. And you can even observe that the strictly increasing function, for example, if you have a function like this strictly increasing function, now if you draw a line parallel to x-axis, it will cut only at one point. It can be understood as nothing but, it can be understood as a 1 1 function, or a strictly decreasing function is there. Or a strictly decreasing function is there. So this is also can be understood as, if you draw a line parallel to x-axis, it will cut only at one point. So then you can understand that this is nothing but a 1 1 function. Then you have, for example, the algebraic formula a plus b the whole square minus a minus b the whole square is equal to 4ab. Now, if I write this one as a plus b the whole square is equal to a minus b the whole square plus 4ab. Now here, a plus b the whole square is always greater than or equal to 4ab, because this can be positive or it can be 0. So here we can understand that if the product of the numbers is given, the numbers are each equal to a plus b, if a plus b is minimum. The correlation exists between algebra and calculus. Maximization and minimization can be done. The maximum area rectangle that can be inscribed in a circle is a square. This also can be understood from here. And the correlation exists in vectors and 3D. Now, for example, we say that it is a unit vector that can be taken as nothing but direction cosines in 3D. So like this, for example, if you have the distributive property a times b plus c is equal to ab plus ac. Now this distributive property, here there is a multiplication and an addition. Now this also can be interpreted in permutations and combinations also. So like this, correlation exists in some concepts as we move from lower grade to higher grade. The understanding must be done. Then moving ahead, now need to have skills and short tips in some concepts. Now, this is very important when you do some competitive examinations. So, what are all these? If the concepts are digested in a simple manner, then there is no waste of time to solve a problem. As I said earlier, the mental calculations, what you do in your head, so the fast calculations. So, you won't waste much time. For example, if you have factorization, x squared plus 5x plus 4, if the student is able to directly do it as x plus 1 times x plus 4, now, actually, y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4 is a parabola. This is a parabola. So, because the coefficient of x squared is greater than 0, this parabola, it will be like this. This is for your y-intercept, and it cuts x-axis at two values, minus -1 and -4. You can find the distance between these two. You can find the vertex. You can even write y-intercept. So all these things can be analyzed to see this factorization comes in lower grades. Now, as you move into higher grades, you can understand that this is a parabola, and several questions of vertex or distance between the x-intercepts or where it is cutting x values, and then y-intercept also can be analyzed. Now, identifying a circle equation, now whether this equation is a circle equation and finding the radius and center, now solving a given algebraic expressions into factors. Now, distance between 2 points, when you apply distance between 2 points, now if the points are given in such a way that you get root of, let us suppose you are getting 6 square plus 8 square, you can apply Pythagoras so that you can get 10 directly. Now, identifying the slope from an equation given. For example, you are given a linear equation. Now, what is the slope of this equation? Now, what is the y-intercept? Observing all these things also leads to fast calculations. Now, for example, if you have 6% of 50, now actually this is 6 by 100 into 50, which can be analyzed as 50 over 100 into 6. So this is nothing but 50% of 6, and which is easily 50% is half of 6 is nothing but 3. Now, for example, if you have 4% of 25, so just interchange these two. So you get it as a 25% of 4. That is nothing but 25% is 1/4. 1/4 of 4 is nothing but 1. So these type of skills must be which you can analyze in examinations so that you can do the calculations fast. Now, moving ahead, how to prepare for performing well in competitive exams. The fast calculations which we learn right from lower grades will be helpful in competitive examinations. Most of the competitive exams have MCQs, multiple choice questions. I mean, if we solve many problems using mental calculations, the time utilized will be less and there will be sufficient time to answer the rest of the questions. Now, eliminating the options also gives you to solve a problem. For example, we know that a particular answer lies between 10,000 to some 17,800 something. And you have various options. Only one option is having 15,000, the other one are having 15, 150, and 1 lakh 50. Now, then this is the answer because the range is between 10,000 to 17,800. So if you can analyze a problem, so how the problem is given by eliminating the options or doing some mental calculations, fast calculations for some problems, your time will be there so that you can really put effort to the other problems which you have. Moving ahead, understanding word problems. Now, many word problems are given in NAPLAN or in SAT. Now, what you have to do? Many students struggle with word problems, and this lowers their confidence during the exams. Now, the word problems are mostly created to simulate real life situations so that students can relate to them while solving them. Most students get confused while reading and interpreting word problems. The best solution to it is to break the word problems into simpler parts, take down the information given in each of the sentences of a word problem, what is given, and then once you have all the information right there, then you can find out what actually you have to get it, move in that direction so that you can solve the problem. Generally, word problems are asked in probability, statistics, exponentiation, trigonometry, geometry, all this contains word problems. So moving ahead, analyzing graphs. Now, graphs actually plays a very important role. Now, graphs, when they are given, actually how to get the solution of the problem by seeing the graph. I was explaining about a linear graph. For example, if you have a linear graph, this is the x and y axis. Now you have a line like this. This is a linear graph. Now from this graph, you can identify what is the slope of the line, what is the y-intercept of the line, or any line which is perpendicular to this line. So you can analyze any line which is perpendicular to this line at a point which is given or whatever it may be. So if you can analyze from graphs, the problem solutions can be found out easily. You can even have a quadratic graph. For example, I told earlier that you can have a parabola like this. For example, this is the parabola you have. This x-axis is the y-axis. So you can analyze many things in this also. Here you can analyze the vertex, the x-intercepts and the y-intercept. A graph is a diagram that is meant to represent data and to portray a relationship. Distinguish between the various types of graphs. Even you have graphs in trigonometry. You have in inverse trigonometry, you have in exponential graphs, you have logarithmic graphs. So graphs will lead to an easy solution for a problem. So understanding graphs is very important. In some, actually, they know even 3,000 graphs until the 10th grade. So how the graphs have been transformed. For example, if you have y is equal to mod x or absolute value of x, this is a parent graph. This graph is somewhat like this, V-shaped graph. Now, if you have y is equal to absolute value of x minus 1, this graph must be shifted horizontally on x-axis at 1 unit. Now, if you have y is equal to absolute value of x plus 1, this graph has to be shifted horizontally on x-axis at minus 1. So like this, you have, for example, y is equal to absolute value of x over 2. So all this transformation of graphs, or y is equal to 2 times absolute value of x. So whether the graph is moving horizontally or vertically, transformation of graphs must be understood. So analyzing graphs means not only knowing the parent graph, but the transformation of graphs. If you know, you can solve many problems. Now moving ahead. Now, how is mathematics made interesting? So mathematics is a language which must be understood with fun, with puzzles, with games and all. So having the concepts with real life examples, real world life examples, then the student will understand and he will remember the concepts. Now teach the misconceptions to the students. For example, we have x squared, the whole to the power of 3. Whether to add 2 and 3 or to multiply, this is not equal to x to the power of 5. You can't add them, you have to multiply them. For that, you must know the basic formula a power m whole power n is a power m. So understand the misconceptions. For example, a over b plus c. So is it equal to a over b plus a over c? No, it is not equal to. So when you understand the misconceptions, you will know what are the concepts. Now, when you want to understand a function, first you understand which is not a function. That will lead to you the definition of a function. So all these things, understanding the extension of a particular concept. For example, I have parallel lines. There is a transversal. These are corresponding angles. So this you learn in lower grades. The same subject, these corresponding angles will become angles of inclination in higher education. Now, the definition of parallel lines. Now, what you understand in lower grades is the lines which maintain the same distance between them is they are parallel lines. But when you go to higher grades, you must understand it as the lines which intersect at infinity are nothing but the parallel lines. Then we have a theorem in plane geometry that a circle and you have a tangent. This is a point of contact from the center, the line drawn, why it is perpendicular. Now, why it is perpendicular means here we have a theorem that we take a point on this and we'll show that this is the greatest distance than this distance. So instead of knowing like that, we can understand that from a point to a line, the nearest distance will be the shortest distance. So if you can analyze them, that would be easy. Now, for example, I told about distributive property. Now, before actually introducing distributive property, if I can teach an example that two chocolates are distributed to a class of 10 boys and 5 girls, then 20 chocolates to boys and 10 chocolates to girls. Overall, you must have 30 chocolates. So this is how the subject must be understood. So here also I can tell another example here. There is a rectangle of side here. You have 15. The length is 15 and the width is, let us suppose, 3. Now, if you want to break this rectangle, let us suppose this is 12 and this is 3. Then 12 times 3, 36 will be this area, and 3 times 3, this will be 9. So totally the area will be 36 plus 9, that will be 45. So this is how the concept must be learned for the student. Not only this, for example, if you have the sum of a positive number with its reciprocal is greater than or equal to 2. Now, this concept can be learned from the algebraic formula, as I told earlier, or it can be learned from calculus, or you can even understand from arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to the geometric mean. So one problem you can solve by various methods. So then it will be interesting for you to understand. Moving ahead. Now learn Max the Turito way. So in our teaching, how it will be. Now learn the concepts with real life examples. That's what I told earlier, so that you will not forget what actually you have learned, the concepts. Engaging and active teaching and two-way interactions. So there will be an active teaching in the class so that the teacher continuously interacts with the students, asking the questions in between, and whether he has understood or not, or he or she. So taking continuously evaluating the student, eliminating the misconceptions. When the misconceptions are eliminated, the student will understand, yes, this is right. Building confidence and clarity. So when the student gives a right answer, so we are going to encourage and not demotivating the student when he gives a wrong answer. So you have here get motivation for both correct and incorrect answers. Ditch the fear of math by building interest. There is a nexus between the student and the teacher so that they won't do any mistakes, so that all are clarified, and even the assignments, whatever they are given, so having the doubts clarification, everything. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Let's move into Q&A session. We got some questions from participants, sir.
Yeah. How should a child approach a new math concept? Yeah. So this is a beautiful question. So when something is introduced, a concept, he must learn the concept by real life examples. That's what I told earlier. So when the student knows a real life example, yes, for example, the distributive property which I told. So before introducing a distributive property to the student, if the teacher explains them with that this distributive property is nothing but by an example, by a word life example, and then introducing it as generally A into B plus C equal to AB plus AC, then he will understand the concept very well. So every new math concept must be understood in that way. That makes really a sense to the student and to the teacher actually, so that they can understand the concept very well. How can I help my child develop interest in mathematics? Now, see, actually, every child, they may not be interested in maths. Now, first, actually, if he is in lower grades, all the basic concepts must be, he must know all the basic concepts. To have a grip in the basic concepts, you must have a formula book. Keep on writing the formulas without seeing, and get it corrected so that the student has understood the formula or not. Otherwise, when he goes into the higher grades, he will not understand the subject and it will become a mess for him. So that the basic concepts or the basic formulas, whatever he gets, so he has to understand. To get interest in mathematics, what you can do in lower grades especially is whenever you are playing game or while shopping or something, ask the student to calculate. You went to a grocery, you had a bill, so ask him to get the sum of all. So having some speed drills, making fun with him in tables, division. So like that, you can develop interest in the student. So basic concepts, if they are not understood, then it is a problem to him as he moves from to the higher grades. How to build strong foundation in math? Any tips or strategies? Yes, as I told earlier, the method is have a formula book for every topic. Let us suppose you are getting a lot of formulae. Have a formula book and write all the formulas in that and keep on revising them. So wherever it is necessary, without seeing if they write, that would be great. And a strong foundation means have some speed drills in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Speed drills are needed because fast calculations will develop, and not only fast calculations, there will be a strong foundation for him. So that would be great because anyhow he has to write some entrances or competitive examinations which are objective mode. So that's why to build a strong foundation, formula book, speed drills, all these things are necessary for a student. Can you tell us some important topics that are useful to build strong foundation? See, in lower grades, we can tell that whatever subject he gets, he has to understand in that number system or whatever it may be, either algebra or fractions, percentages, whatever it is. You can't leave any topic. All the topics are very important for the child. Everything is correlated, interconnected. So when it is correlated and interconnected, you can't leave any topic. All the topics must be analyzed with the student, and then only he will have a strong foundation. So you can't leave any particular topic. We can't focus it on. So every topic, whatever he learns in the journey from the lower grades to the higher grades, he has to build that. So we can't say that this topic is important. Every topic is important in maths because it is correlated. Somewhere or the other, it will be touched. For example, people say that in higher education, trigonometry is hard. That doesn't do properly. But trigonometry, if you can't learn properly, there comes calculus. In calculus, in derivatives and in integration, it would be a huge problem because those concepts you will be applying there. So in application, again, it will be a high problem. So all the concepts, whatever he learns, are right from the lower grade. Everything must be imbibed by the student. How to avoid making calculator mistakes in exam? Is calculation mistakes, actually. I think calculator mistakes, it's not the calculator mistakes, it's the calculation mistakes. For this, he needs a lot of practice. Every student has to practice a lot of assignments or a lot of every day. If you practice some problems, let us suppose he is in lower grades, addition, subtraction, daily routine, some problems mixed with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. If he's solving, I think calculation mistakes can be avoided. For this, it is nothing but sheer practice. So if you have a very good practice by every day, if you solve some problems, I think this can be rectified. Calculation mistakes can be avoided. How to improve time management in competitive examinations? Yes, this is the question because I stress on to every student for competitive exams. Time management is very important. So here, actually, what you have to do is first, you must know fast calculations. To have fast calculations, you must know speed drills. Right from lower grade, if he knows how to calculate it fast, then some of the problems can be done mentally or in head. Now, when the student doesn't head some of the problems, let us suppose you have some 25 questions. He has answered 8 to 10 questions with his mental ability. He has done by seeing the problem, by reading the question, he has done it. Now, let us suppose 10 problems have been solved like that. You have the other 15 problems, which may be application mode, or they may be having some more things you have to apply. It's a hard problem. So the rest of the time he can apply to those 15 problems, and the time management can be done in the examination. So for this, not only having that skill, and you must know some short tips like calculating the distance between 2 points or something, some concepts he must learn, but concept oriented. So not only that, another thing is you must have a practice for these competitive exams. Let us suppose we are attempting a competitive exam like NAP. He has to do a lot of problems before the main examination. So every examination, he has to keep the time and he has to observe that within the time I'm doing all the problems, or am I doing some mistakes? So am I taking time in some other problems? If after each and every examination, he has to have an analysis of the paper. Now, how many problems I did wrong? How many problems I have taken time to solve? So every paper must have an analysis before the main examination. So many problems has to be solved. Many papers have to be solved from our end. So then for every examination, if you can eliminate your negatives, then I think it would be very easy in the main competitive examinations. So time management comes from a lot of paper solving, analyzing the things fast, how you can do fast problems in some topics. So all these things are needed. Do we have a trial class? How to join the course? I think
Yes,
Ravali, this can be.
Pavan will answer this, sir. Pavan is with us. Yeah, Pavan, can you please?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, the whole course is actually designed in a way where we are, catering the need. And the first step itself, knowing about that in what manner we can help your child or prepare your child, is the demo class itself, right? All the teachers that are with us right now, they have their past experience in teaching kids who are from Australia, and teachers who are preparing them for competitive examinations, right? So the trial class will be provided to you, and in that trial class you will get to know, the capability of the teacher and how well she or he is teaching during the class itself. And there are, customization, personalization, these kind of options are also present there. And to join the course, you will shortly receive call from our team, and you will get to know about the program more. There are basically two programs that we currently run. So we are providing a 560 AUD package for 48 classes, and 8 and 900 AUD for 96 class package. And once you take the demo class, after that a counselor will get in touch with you and they will explain you about all the class and the curriculum in depth.
Yeah, thank you, Pavan, for giving complete overview about the about courses. Thank you so much. And as of now, we are not getting any questions here, so we'll be ending the session, sir. And thank you so much for detailed overview about the topic and answering all the questions with patience, sir. And we'll be having a webinar session in the coming week as well. We hope to see you all again. Until then, if you have any queries, please write to us at care@turito.com. For more info, please visit our website www.turito.com. Turito makes every student to learn mindful but not handful for better learning and better results. Join Turito. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you all.